Well, this morning, the Calm group here in the Isle of Man handed a petition to the Chief Minister, and a mighty petition it was. And first of all, I mean, Deborah, were you pleased that the Chief Minister accepted it, did such a public handover?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a very, very positive outcome. It's a time for political courage. There is a tide of progressive abortion, reform that we're seeing in Ireland, we're seeing in Scotland. And of course, the Chief Minister has been, meeting with Nicola Sturgeon, etc. recently. We mentioned to Mr. Quayle, that the Isle of Man was one of the first countries to give women the vote, and actually has the opportunity. We're on the island. We can actually lead this progressive movement of progressive abortion reform.
And the mood music seems to be pretty positive. I mean, I know there's obviously opposition, and we do hear from them, although they haven't been in touch with us at all. But I mean, there's two camps on this, very, very vocal.
They may both be vocal, but by the petition itself, which had nearly 3,000 signatures, and the petition was actually started before the last general election. And, there've been, as I say, 3,000 signatures, 70% have been from people on the Isle of Man. And then we actually have the recent government consultancy on the bill, where nearly 90% of people, over 3,500 people completed the consultancy, and nearly 90% have all said they are in favour of abortion reform on the Isle of Man. Okay. So, yes, there is another voice, but it's a tiny minority voice.
Joanne, you talk about your personal, how you come involved in this fight. You don't mind sharing your story?
No, not at all. I mean, I do have political reasons as well, but a number of years ago, I had a need to have an abortion. I went to see my GP, and there was no support available, there was no advice available, so I was left to find my own way to achieve what I needed to do. I was fortunate at that time that I had the financial wherewithal to be able to get away, to pay the clinic, but it shouldn't be a financial lottery. It's an incredibly stressful thing to have to do, and I can't imagine how much worse it would have been if I hadn't had the funds to have the abortion.
And there's so many of these stories out there, but obviously people do disagree, but everyone's their own right.
There are so many stories. Many people, when they completed the consultancy, which is all available online, there are women sharing their experiences and the trauma they feel, not through having had an abortion, but the stress of being forced to travel, to find funds. In some cases, purchase tablets illegally on the internet. Now, the tablets are safe when used, in the correct time period, etc. But this all adds, to delays when these women have made the choice that they want and need an abortion, and this should be done legally and safely on the Isle of Man.
Okay. Well, Dr. Alex Allison's got the bills. He's going to be handling it. Do you got confidence in him?
Absolutely. I don't think we could have a more credible individual taking this through Tynwald. I mean,
it goes. Dr. Allison actually, when he stood as an MHK, and he actually got more votes than any other MHK, it was there in his manifesto that he wanted progressive abortion reform, and it was resoundingly voted in. I thought it was interesting when we spoke with Mr. Quayle, who was so courteous to receive the petition. He actually said that if he was a betting man, that this bill will become